Maintenance Monday, Dr. T here with Scott Panchik. If you're an athlete experiencing knee pain, we got a quick fix for you. All right, so today specifically we're going to talk about the IT band. A lot of people have issues with stretching it and trying to stretch it, which recent research has come up showing that that's not really it's not really possible for that to occur. So we need to address the tissues above and below, and then the muscles surrounding that tissue. Today we're just going to do a quick fix with the lacrosse ball on the vastus lateralis, or the lateral quad muscle right here. So on Scott, I'm going to show you where this is. Alright, so you have your VMO, the medial quad, you have your lateral quad, vastus lateralis, and then your IT band, which runs right along here. It's a thick band that runs down, inserts on the knee. When that becomes tight from overtraining, slamming into a valgus, or collapsing your knee basically whenever you're doing a squat, which I've seen a lot of Olympic lifters and CrossFitters.
Explain what valgus is.
So valgus is if Scott was to do a squat, and at the bottom of the squat his knees would collapse. So there, or in a Olympic lift, when he slams into the hole, trying to get to the midway, he'll collapse his arch, or collapse in to get out of that hole. It happens all the time, and it's usually the culprit is the IT band takes a huge hit. But again, people try to foam roll the tissue too much.
I was guilty of that. That was something that I'd get on the foam roller, I'd move back and forth, and it was just kind of a lazy approach to warming up. But and I always thought that knee pain, it was knee pain. I never thought that it could be addressed coming up from the IT band.
Yep. So IT. First, we're gonna take the lacrosse ball onto the ground. I'm gonna have Scott get onto the lacrosse ball here. So spin this way more.
You put me in the position.
So right there.
Yes,
With this. All right. So again, this IT band that runs right down here is going to come off of that and put this lacrosse ball right onto the lateral quad, right where my thumb is, starting at the top of the knee. So he's going to come down right on top of it. He's going to place his opposite leg in front,
like you're taking a senior picture.
Just like that. And then he's going to try to put pressure onto that ball while flexing and extending his leg. So he's going to shorten this, just like that, and extend. The big problem here is the IT band gets tacked down with that lateral quad muscle, and they get stuck basically. And the goal here is just to restore that sliding motion between the two to help clear out that knee pain.
So one thing I'm struggling with right now is that lacrosse ball's moving a little bit.
So you can have someone come in and help hold it. You can get a stickier surface to help hold that lacrosse ball. Turf would help a lot, or if you're on like a carpet, it'll stick that ball in a little better. We have a kind of slick surface here. So again, he's just flexing and extending. I'll do 5 reps at one spot, and then move up another inch, about the distance of the ball to the next spot, all the way up. Good, flexing and extending.
How much did this hurt?
This is going to be a pretty painful mobility, so take note of that before doing this. It doesn't feel great, but again, there's so much adhesion there that you're really just trying to restore the sliding surface and get the tissues glide back in storage.
I've always explained mobility as something that should be uncomfortable, but not in pain.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to explain it.
So, it should be something that, if it's uncomfortable, you're probably doing it right. But it shouldn't be anything that's causing a ton of pain.
If you want to modify it to bring it a little lighter, maybe find a softer ball. I really like the lacrosse ball here because of its focal point that you can really dig into that lateral quad here. And you're going to have to get pretty inventive. So once you get up closer to the top, he's going to have to bring his hip down more, so tilt your pelvis towards the ground, just like that. So he's going to have to tilt his pelvis this way more, so he can get a better angle on his quads.
So as he comes up and grabs this, he can kind of guide. If I'm doing it with a partner, he can kind of move and get it in the direction, get my hip in the direction that the pressure needs to be.
Good. So again, if I was to show you on this side, just flop down, he's going to follow this IT all the way up on that lateral quad. So I would go up to right about the hip joint. Almost, I mean, you kind of get other tissues coming into the fact once you get up here. So again, just about to right there, and see how that feels. From there, I would have the athlete then go into his stomach to work around the knee. Where's that ball? So again, we started here. So I want to work around that kneecap while flexing and extending. Just like this. Flex and extend. This is a great exercise to do prior to training.
How about my toe? I want to keep it straight or pointed?
It doesn't really matter. If you want to get more range of motion, you can point your toe because you're going to go down farther. Just like that, boom. And then follow literally around that kneecap. And again, you can do this prior to training, after training, on your active rest days. It's just a good way to, again, get the slide guide going. So that's it for Maintenance Monday today. See you next week.